Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for jumping on with us today. We hope everybody is safe and warm and on this cold day. We have several members of our administration team on today to kind of talk through what the possibility of a 4-day instructional week would look like. And we won't be taking live questions, but we are going to address some of the questions and the concerns that came up through the survey you all answered and the questions that you submitted. If there are additional questions, please feel free to type that into the Q&A box or fill out the survey link for the town hall, and we will make sure that the FAQ gets updated with any new questions, as well as address them in the town hall on Thursday. We're going to move that over to, Angela, correct me if I'm wrong, over to the elementary campus in the student auditorium at 5:30.
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure, because there was basketball games going on at the secondary campus. So we wanted to switch over so we didn't have that traffic all merged on one campus, as well as have some space and some quiet for the meeting. So let's get this kicked off. Let me introduce everybody that is on here with me, including myself. I'm Audra Floyd. I'm the Director of Academics and Accountability. Been at Leadership Prep since year one, and I have our Superintendent, Stacy Alton, here with me. I have Josh Jones, our high school and middle, or our secondary campus principal. I have Angela Stewart on as our elementary principal, and Dana Camp is our Director of Special Populations. So just a couple of things that we wanted to go over today with everyone. So I'm going to let Miss Alton talk about why this idea came up and why we think it might be a great idea for our school.
Yes, thank you. So I'm Stacy Alton. I'm the superintendent at Leadership Prep School. Thank everybody for joining us today, and this will be recorded. So if you weren't able to join live, then we'll have it available. So really, it comes down to looking at the design principle of a 4-day instructional week. And what we really see is the real benefit of a 4-day instructional week has more to do with school culture and morale and giving everyone a mental health break for students and staff. So we see that schools that have been going to a 4-day instructional week have really seen an energy boost in their overall school population. So we really wanted to consider what that would look like for Leadership Prep School, be able to address the benefits. And then obviously our team has been looking at some of the challenges that we may face with going to a 4-day instructional week as well.
Thank you for that. All right, well, I wanted to have our principals and our Director of Special Populations kind of talk about what the benefits might look like on their campuses and with their specific populations. Who would like to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
As part of our the benefits of this is, and talking with the other districts that have been doing this, is looking at decreased absences, knowing that families will have that time on Fridays for those extended weekends, that the vacations, doctor's appointments, those kind of things would be scheduled. So we would have kids in school on those 4 days, as well as having very focused time in class during those core classes, knowing that the teachers have, again, those 4 days to implement those TEKS and get those kiddos where we need them to be. And then also allowing for scheduled breaks throughout the day for those students for brain breaks, for recess periods, those kinds of things were a lot of the benefits that we've been looking at.
Josh, you want to go next? Thanks.
Sure. As far as for the secondary campus, one of the main reasons was really just student life balance. I have a lot of students that they work. They have lots of homework, and so that Friday gives them an extra day to get those things in. I have some students that go to school 5 days a week and then they work the other two. And so it would be nice just to give them one of their days back because they are still teenagers. A lot of it just had to do with giving also my teachers time to collaborate on their lessons. And most of my teachers, it's not unheard of for them to put in 60, 70 hours. And so giving them a weekend back with their family so that they have a Friday to really dive into what they need to teach and to develop those best practices.
Dana, what do you see as some benefits for some of our special populations, which would include, gifted and talented, our English language learners, our special education, 504 populations? What do you see?
And looking at the benefits across the board for all the special populations, one of the biggest consideration is that the longer days can mean more sustained help for students. So right now, if you have inclusion support or if you have small groups with your teachers, they could last 15, 20 minutes and then they're done. And they move on to the next thing. And with sustained help for more than 30, 45 minutes, longer time to work on that, you can master or you can measure for mastery a lot better. We feel like those compact, more intensive, sustained help would be more beneficial academically. Also, the ability to work with the general ed teachers more to collaborate. We collaborate the best we can, but there's only so many hours in a day, and you have so many different teachers to get to that I feel like a longer day would that success, would increase the collaboration, would increase the ideas and things that we can do to get all kids where they need to be. Also, we're looking at specialized staff with the diagnosticians on campus. They're the ones that do the testing to determine if there's a learning disability. Our dyslexia teachers, our SLPs, which is a speech language pathologist, our professional staff. With that day for better collaboration and for help with students, you're going to get retention of those more professional and services for our children.
Thank you. So as we know, this is quite a mind shift. Just a thought process change. All of us have grown up with a 5-day school week, five-day learning experience all throughout our schooling, especially in K through 12. So what are some challenges that you all anticipate on your campuses and in your departments?
At elementary, we have been discussing in our committee definitely the longer days. So with looking at that master schedule, we will be planning structured recesses, structured brain breaks throughout the day. But a day is a day for our students. Just because they get out of school currently now at 3:15 doesn't mean that their day ends. They still are learning, participating, playing throughout the evening. So it would just be building that stamina, which we do anyway right now. When school starts, everyone is tired and it takes them a while to get adjusted. So we would just be getting adjusted a little bit longer to those days by incorporating those things. Also, the
experience look like for them.
We would have, for our kindergarten and first graders, we would have 2 recesses a day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Lunch break would still be the same time. For second through fourth grade, we would still probably start with 2 recesses and then dwindle back to 1 recess. That's what I found with all of the other current schools that are currently doing this, with the older kids just having that 1 recess. The reading, math blocks, science and social studies, those blocks would be longer, but then again, we would build in brain breaks throughout the day to help with stamina and the length of that. It would allow for more, like Ms. Camp said, where that teacher is pulling the small groups like we do now, but it is very It can be on certain days very fast paced. Let's move, let's get to the next group. Whereas now we have a longer sustained time to be working with those kiddos throughout the day, as well as those pull out groups that need just a little bit of extra help or intervention. Or for those GT kids, they would get longer intervention and time to work together in those groups. Another challenge that we have is the childcare on Friday, since we're at the elementary campus. But we are working with community partners and do have a committee that is trying to work with them on options for our families, bringing other opportunities in other than just childcare within the community.
Mr. Jones, how do you think that the longer days and what the 5th day experience might look like on your campus?
So really the longer days, I think it will be an adjustment, just like Angela said. But I think it's an adjustment that most of my students will make easily. They're used to being after school for extracurriculars and things like that. That does propose another challenge of if they still have practices after school. If it's a longer day, then that means the practice is pushed back longer. But actually, a lot of the coaches that I've talked to are very excited about Fridays being open for the extracurriculars. So that's one of the options that we've thought about for Fridays. Other options have also been accelerated instruction, community partners, tutoring times, also even setting up times for collaboration among the students for our PBL learning. As far as the longer days, my teachers are actually pretty excited about having a longer time to teach a core class and section. There is the challenge of that, more information at a time. So we are looking at breaks as well. Also because I'm a 5th through 12th grade campus. So I see these challenges, but I don't think that they are going to be a big issue because of just how hard our teachers work and how well our students adapt. So,
Dana, what challenges do you anticipate for our special programs?
Well, in thinking about difficulties along the lines of the various special populations, the first thing is those students that have more significant challenges or disabilities, that longer day may be, impacted by this, or their behaviors or their stamina. That's just building in longer breaks. That's building in tasks balanced out between harder tasks with more easier tasks, things like that. There are some considerations for meetings and our timelines and things, but I think once we get adjusted, it'll be fine. We have to consider that, getting all the multiple meetings in for our EL students, our GT students, our our 504 students, our art kids, special ed kids, our dyslexia kids. It's a lot of meetings that have to take place. So we're looking at trying to really be strategic in when that takes place, who's there, getting everything lined up and coordinated and really organized to make sure that happens. We do have timeline requirements for state and federal law for completing everything for special ed. The only concern with that would be evaluations and getting those things done. If you have one less day, that's one less day able to get to the students to test. I know there's a longer day, but it doesn't translate as well. However, that can be a benefit for completing the written portion that we have to work on behind the scenes, writing reports, writing out, collaborating with the teachers to get a good plan developed. And then those students who have a dyslexia program, our Take Flight program, things like that, there are some curriculum requirements for those. So we'll have to be creative in how we attack those things and see if a Zoom call or something on those extra that day off or that day that we're not on campus, how we can address those things. If it's done through, work at home, if it's done through video, things like that. We'll just have to see how that balances out.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you all for all of your answers. I think that addressed several of the questions that we had submitted, as well as several that have come through on here. I will make sure that all of the questions submitted get captured and are addressed on the FAQ. I did want to highlight a couple things for everyone on here and for anyone who's watching the replay, that here is the schedule that we're looking at. It is not set in stone, but this is the time amounts that we're looking at. We do have to keep that staggered just for pattern purposes and traffic. So elementary will start before secondary, but a 5 or a 10-minute difference might tweak, but this is probably what it will look like. Additionally, wanted to give everybody an idea of where to find the additional information. So if you go to our website and go to the news tab, this is where the 4-day instructional week FAQ is. And this is where all of those answers are. So several of you had asked for the proposed calendar link and all of that in the questions. So you're welcome to jump on here and see that. Here are several of the answers to several of the questions that have come up, even in just this meeting. So again, this will be updated with your questions from today as well. And then also just a reminder that we will be having a town hall meeting. We will have some board members present on Thursday, this Thursday, well, barring there's no weather issues, since it's going to be in person. It will be this Thursday at 5:30 p.m. in the elementary campus student auditorium. So you would go in the front doors, and upstairs is where the student auditorium is. We'll have staff around to direct you if you are not familiar with that campus. But thank you again for taking some time today to listen to us. We appreciate your partnership, and absolutely just look forward to working with you with this and making sure that we can accommodate all of our families, because you are part of our family, and we want to make sure that we are hearing you, that you understand that we care about you and your kids, and want to accommodate as best we can. So thank you again for your participation. Thank you for all of my colleagues for jumping on. Everybody stay safe and warm, and we will see you later this week. Have a wonderful day, guys.